icons are bringing them over, and Catholics have no patience for sharing their religious space. So they didn't allow them their own religion, or so they thought. In voodoo, in Vadu, the original version of the religion, everything has a spirit. The wind, good fortune, cash, disease, everything has a spirit, and every spirit has a name. And if you know the names, you can ask them, hey, how about look out for me a little bit more than usual? Well, when the Catholics come into the picture, they don't like the whole engraven images of worshiping other idols and that sort of thing. But voodoo practitioners were very clever. They simply translated all of their voodoo beliefs onto Catholic icons. So now instead of the spirit of travel, we have a little statue of St. Christopher. Yeah, that's what you call him, but we know who he really is. That's the basis of the entire religion of Santeria and voodoo. The difference between those two is a mountain range on the same island. One side is Haiti, the other side is Dominican Republic. If that mountain range weren't there, we'd only be talking about one religion.
So voodoo essentially comes from Haiti, from Africa through Haiti.
Basically, it's the slaves trying to keep as much of their religion alive despite so many things trying to kill them. Now, behind me is the tomb of the Paris family, the Paris family, as in Marie Laveau de Paris. She marries into the Paris side of her family, and that's the second of her marriages. This is an incredibly rich, aristocratic, white Catholic family from Paris itself, while Marie comes from the opposite ends of the spectrum. She's born a free woman of color in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. 1789, three things happen to make the story happen. Number one, cemetery opens up. Number two, Marie reaches the age of 11. And number three, Haiti goes through the slave revolt of Haiti. It's such a boring name because the only reason we name things in this country is to make sure we don't get it confused with the other thing, and they only had one slave revolt, and it worked. In one night's time, the entire slave population of Haiti revolts against their masters, and if you're a European appearance or descent, you were exiled or killed. No third option.
Wow.
That's why Marie of mixed descent and others in a similar situation end up on a couple ships that come right here, the next closest French-speaking colony where they can make a living and not have to learn a new language. We know Marie gets here by the age of 12 or so because there was a law back then that said you were only allowed in this town if you were Catholic and you could prove it. And if you're not Catholic, like most of the slaves coming through, you were forcefully baptized. There's records of her being so that's how come we know when she gets here.
Wow.
About a year later, she gets married for the first of 3 times at the age of 13. Yeah, that sounds early, but remember, life expectancy was under 40 back then. Everything got started early. Of course, she probably agrees with you because that fellow doesn't make it for too long before dying of mysterious causes. A couple years later, she falls in love with, and marries Jack Paris. Very rich, very good looking. At least that's what 3 different textbooks tell me. They mention his name and then give me a whole paragraph on how good looking he is. This guy was really good looking. Didn't help him out though, because he too dies of mysterious causes really close by. A couple years later, she marries a 3rd time. Do you see a pattern building up? 3rd guy, mysterious causes. A couple years later, she finally dies, and that's when.
Hey, babe, you gotta cut that off. No filming in here.
Oh, okay.